another idea just popped up as I was thinking, what if later on I won't know what to talk about anymore? And now I have so many ideas, or like it pops up very randomly. So I was thinking maybe it will be good if I can just like write it down somewhere, and then when I don't know what to talk about, or like I don't have any inspiration, I can just go and pick up one of the topics that I've thought in the past about, something that I wanted to just share. And yeah, right now I have fresh in my mind what I want to write down. So I was just like looking for some kind of a box at home where I can put these little papers with whatever comes to my mind, and I put it there. And whenever I am uninspired, or I just want to talk about some random things, I can just pick one paper out and talk about what is written there. Honestly, why I suddenly thought of this is because a few days ago I had a talk with my coach, and suddenly, out of nowhere, one of the sentences she told me just popped up while I was doing. What was I even doing? I was doing dishes, or I was trying to juice oranges to drink, and I was just thinking, oh wow, this is such a good sentence. And it comes up a lot. Like, I hear a lot of things from my coach, from my friends, from TV shows, even like from different places, that sometimes make me think and be like, wow, actually this applies to my situation and to many other situations so well. And I think we can learn a lot from them. And this particular sentence that she told me that popped up was that everyone is allowed to have their cheerleader squad. And it's just that I've been going through something very hard where, I was in a disagreement with someone else, and I just felt like the person is like, you can hear this story from two different sides, right? From my side, that I'm telling to my friends, and from their side that they are telling to their friends. And sometimes I was just like, the why it came up is that I told my coach, but I feel like their friends are now judging me, but they don't know the whole story, they don't know my side. And then that's the moment when she said, but I think it's okay, everyone is allowed to have their own cheerleader squad. And it just hits you, like, yeah, that's true. I have my friends that always stand by my side whenever I tell them what happened, when something bad happened, when something good happened. I know that they are always on my side, and it feels so good to feel validated. But I don't need to be validated by these strangers, all right? So I don't have to fight over them and get them to understand my point of view, because in the end it doesn't matter. It's They are friends of the other side, and it's completely okay that they are cheering on their friends. Yeah, so I just thought that that is a really powerful sentence that I've heard, and it made me think a lot. And that's why I came now with this idea of writing down these kind of thoughts or stories. Sometimes some story pops up. For example, what I hate the most, like what's the hardest whenever I go to some like networking event, or like a place where I don't know anyone, and then they suddenly come up with like, oh, introduce yourself and maybe tell us a fun fact about yourself. I always have such a hard time to think of a fun fact about me, honestly. And I always say something so lame, and then I'm just like, oh my god, why did I say this? But I know inside that I actually am a fun person, you know, to hang around, and I have a lot of funny stories, but they just don't come at that moment when someone says, "Oh, tell me a fun fact about you," or tell me some joke. You know, it's just like the hardest thing, and then I feel like I'm the most boring person because I don't have anything to say. So even these funny stories, I think I would want to sometimes just write them down when I will be like, if someone ever asks me this again, I will be like, you know, I do have a lot of fun stories. Let me pick something from my box of fun stories. I will tell you this. I wrote down one fun fact about me that I just remembered, and it's the one that I used in my last networking event when someone asked me that, and I was thinking hard about it, and I was so proud that I came up with it. So this fun fact is that in the past 20 years, I've moved on average once per year. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm also a bit sad because in the end, moving a lot is also hard. I really hate moving, but I like exciting changes. I like change of scenery and beginning things. So I know that I will move at least once more. But yeah, that's a fun fact about myself. And I also think that right now it doesn't make sense to just sit here and try to think of stories that I can talk about in the future. I think the whole point of this is that whenever something comes up, and like something comes up, then I can just grab a pen and a paper, and then I can write it down and put it in this box. And then I can come back to it later when I just want to talk about some random stuff. So yeah, I think that's the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you're going to start doing something similar. Bye bye.